Well, the next one I want to talk about, there's kind of a big jump before we get another Disney movie that's based off a banned book. And we get in 1961, James and the Giant Peach comes out by Roald Dahl, one of my favorite children's authors. I'll throw that out there right now. Feel free, though, to disagree with me. Always feel free to disagree. And so this one's been banned a few different times for a few different reasons. One of them, and this one kind of comes up, I feel like this one comes up a lot with banned books, is it encourages children to disobey authority. There were tobacco references and a bad word. Should I say what the bad word is?
Okay.
It's ass. That's the one that got it banned in the one instance. So, and then Disney goes and makes the kind of live action stop motion hybrid Tim Burton in 1996. So what's your I want to know, what's your kind of experience with James and the Giant Peach? Is it movie first, book first?
I saw this in cinemas, and so I was very young. I was 4 years old. Now I'm just going to out myself on the age here. It came out in 96 when I was 4. But I remember my dad taking me to see this one. I remember the creepy like rhinoceros or elephants or in the sky. Like that part scared me on the beach when they're charging at the family. But I liked this one. And then I believe I read the book of my own personal choosing in elementary school. It wasn't one that was assigned. I'm a big, if we're going to talk about Roald Dahl, I'm a big Matilda fan.
Oh,
the
yes.
Mara Wilson movie. So I think I went through like a Roald Dahl phase. And my mom loves Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So like we're just hitting all the good ones here.
The Witches was my favorite Roald Dahl.
The Witches.
I really
I haven't done that one. I should do that for October.
Shout out to Mrs. Robinson, Mrs. Dean, a 6th grade English teacher who read that to us. We read that as a class. But yeah, my experience, I did see the film first before I read James and the Giant Peach, but it was so long ago, I cannot tell you the last time I watched either the film or read the book. But I remember what I loved about it was the pathway to get to New York City, and when the Peach ends on top of, what was it, the Chrysler Building or the Empire State Building?
Empire State Building.
It is the Empire State Building.
I think so.
It's Annie who wants the Chrysler.
Yes.
Like that was just the coolest thing to me, was seeing the Peach sitting on top of the Empire State Building and their quest to get to New York. Because I always loved going to New York City, and when you're a kid, like that's like a big thing. And I was from the Philadelphia area, so New York wasn't terribly far. Like we did quite a few day trips, so those were kind of reminiscent for me. That like I've been there, I know what that is.
Oh, I love that.
So I always liked it for that aspect, and I love stop motion. It's so cool. And also the trailer, one of the VHSs I always watched had James the Giant Peach's trailer in it. Like I can recite that trailer to you. For sure.
Sure that.
I'm not going to. But like I vividly remember watching the trailer a lot because it was at the beginning of a VHS. But I have only seen the movie maybe 2 or 3 times.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, maybe we'll have to have you recite the trailer as bonus. No.
She's ready.
We'll put it at the end. No, just kidding. Don't wait. Don't listen for it at the end. I'm not going to make her do that. No. But no. I think I had a similar experience, and I'm wondering if it's. I'll say I'm not that much older than you all, but I am. I gotta figure it out. I was probably 11.
Okay.
When this one came out. So I saw it on VHS, I'm sure, the first time, probably at a friend's house. And I remember it kind of popping up through the years, but like I didn't read this one until well after I had seen the movie, say, a number of times. I read it when I was in school to become an elementary school teacher in my undergrad. And it was kind of on the list of things that we needed to read for a children's lit class. Amongst a bunch of other things. And I enjoyed it then, but it was weird because I was coming to it as an adult, looking at it as something that I might want to teach at some point. So it was kind of a different experience with it in that way. But I think I want to say that having that movie come out, I think it did kind of reopen the book to a new generation.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not too sure before that how many kids were out there reading James and the Giant Peach regularly.
I feel like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was probably the most popular of his.
Oh, yeah.
But no, it was around the same time.
Yeah.
The film, right?
And Matilda's recently also been
Matilda as a musical.
Right in the musical, yeah.
On Netflix. Haven't watched it.
So many. Roald Dahl's got so many
which
great books that
twice.
Yeah.
And halfway was the reboot. But yeah, he does have staying power.
He does, and yeah.
I was rereading through like the plot of the story real quick, and I find it interesting that it was banned for disobeying authority. But then when you look at his aunts, they're not good people. They're abusive.
No.
And I'm thinking, like, it sounds almost Cinderella-ish. No one blames Cinderella for trying to get out of her wicked stepmother, but we're banning this because he's disobeying his aunts and he ran away from home. Like, I'm confused on where the authority piece is coming in here.
A lot of times, I think what happens with like children's literature is that it'll get banned by the parents who see the event out of context, or they see the word out of context, or the whatever happened that they're upset about. They don't have the whole picture of it, and a lot of times they maybe don't go the extra mile to kind of get the context. So that happens a lot with challenged books, because if you're bringing a book that you don't have the whole picture for, it's going to be hard to change that challenge to a banning in a library. It's going to be harder, I should say. But I think that's what does happen sometimes. And so that disobeying authority, like on the surface, yes, in that scene, in those scenes in that book, in the movie, he's totally disobeying his authority figures. But it's kind of to survive, to save himself.
I wonder if parents were afraid kids would be like, oh, my parents are forcing me to do chores. Never again. Or like that the kids will take it out of context. Like, that is so interesting, though, because, again, looking at these reasons that those categories unsuitable for an age, I guess this would play into, because you want to encourage kids to not smoke, because there's tobacco references. The Disney disclaimer now in front of like half from before the 60s.
I wonder if it's in the movie, if there's tobacco in the bears.
I don't know.
But it does, I guess, fall into like you want to encourage kids to listen to your authority figures, your parents, your teachers. I just found that interesting, like just rereading the plot real quick to refresh. But then I was like, no, but we're not, I don't know. I see disobeying authority, like I think about like 1984, where like you're going to overthrow a government or something. And I'm like, they're abusive parents or caregivers. They're not good people. Interesting.
Sure. If you like this video, like and subscribe. If you really like this video, visit synergylovescompany.com for the full audio podcast.